Attention passenger Chris Bridges, your flight to Vegas is about to take off.
So that's me arrived in Vegas. So I thought I'd tell you a wee bit about why I'm in Las Vegas. So that's me arrived in Vegas, absolutely knackered. Right, it's a long way, but I grab my bag now and head over to the hotel. So it's currently 3:30 in the morning UK time, so I think it's like 8:30 at night Las Vegas time, but I've been on the go from like 6 o'clock yesterday morning, so managed to get a bit of sleep on the flight, but nothing too drastic when you're like sitting like this. So I'm knackered, but I'm also absolutely buzzing to be here. This place has just got such an energy about it. How you doing, mate? Sorry, got distracted there by the guy I was on, sitting next to a guy in the plane. Excited to be here, but also really excited for tomorrow. Got to try and get up. Don't know how it'll be with the jet lag and everything like that, but I'd imagine I might be up early, even though I've not had much sleep, just with my kind of body clock and stuff like that, like waking up early, so we'll see. This place is unbelievable. Don't even know where to go, but this lobby is something else, man. She's given me a room upgrade, so I'm so excited to see what this room looks like. I think it was already meant to be really nice, but she's gave me a wee upgrade, which was nice here. Wow, look at that. The curtains have just opened herself. Wow, look at this, man. Oh, that is sick. The curtains just opened up when I opened the door there. Oh, can you see through there? Wow. Oh, look at this. This is a bit much for just me, isn't it? Oh man, this is minted. Oh, all off. Oh, look at that. That telly's a bit annoying, but wow. What a place. What a view, Wolf. That gives you, what's that? Vertigo. That gives you vertigo looking down there, man. Wow. That'll do me for a couple of days. So I thought I'd tell you a wee bit about why I'm in Las Vegas. Bit of a strange thing for somebody that runs an estate agency in West Lothian to do. But the reason I'm here is I'm going to be in a workshop with Alex Hormozi and his team, which is really exciting. So for anyone that doesn't know Alex Hormozi, he has a company called acquisition.com, and they are based here in Vegas, and he does a lot of help for business owners like myself. I get a lot of his content. I've got a couple of his books and stuff like that as well. They've bought over the old UFC building here in Vegas, so that's where I'm heading tomorrow, which is going to be really cool. And basically the idea behind this is it's a 2-day workshop, so it's really like hands-on, and you basically just get to work on the business. So it's for people that want to grow their business. There'll be businesses of all shapes and sizes, you know. I'll probably be one of the smaller businesses that are there, which I quite like. I like putting myself in rooms where I'm uncomfortable, do you know what I mean, and feel out of my depth, because then there's so much growth there. Like, there's no point in being in a room with people that you feel like that's not the case, and especially with somebody like Alex Hormozi in the room. So it's really exciting, you know. I've put a bit of investment into this. But I absolutely love stuff like this. I really do. Like, I love learning about business. Guys and girls that are working for acquisition.com will be on like multi-6-figure salaries. I think some of them, you know, into the 7 figures, which is insane. So to get access to people like that for a couple of days is crazy, and I think that's why Alex has set this workshop up. to do that, to give people like myself access to people like that. So really excited to be here. Can't wait to see what the next couple of days has in store. Right, that is me up and shifted now. So I am going to go and grab a coffee, and then it's time to head over to acquisition.com. So buzzing for that, and we have got a bit of sunshine as well. So sunset maybe about an hour ago, and I can see Vegas in the daylight now, so looks beautiful. I think it's got to be really warm today. I think it's to be like 36 or something like that. So that is me about, well, 3/4 of the way through the first day. It has been amazing, so good, to be honest. Lots of value, so many great people in that room, and to be honest with you, it made me feel quite uncomfortable at times. I feel like I felt like I was a bit out my depth, and you know, that way when you're surrounded with people that are a lot further on than you, it's it can be quite daunting, to be honest with you. But that's the rooms that I want to be in. I've spoken about this before, and there's no point in being in rooms where you feel like you're not learning anything, and I'm definitely getting that for this room. It's just incredible, the pace that these guys go at as well. It's relentless to try and keep up. So I've been struggling a wee bit with that at times, but like really good, and they made a point of saying that as well at the beginning, that they're just looking to add so much value, and people have said to them before that they go really fast. That's the feedback that they always get, but they're just like, we want to add so much value for you guys making the effort to come out here, and therefore you know, if we go a bit too fast paced for you, we would rather that than the other way, kind of thing. So they know that, so you're just like absolutely mind blown. One of the biggest things I just got there was speaking to one of Alex's team, and you know, we were talking about the I don't know if I can go into the specifics actually, but I was talking to them about something, and I was mentioning what it's like in our industry, and he says, you know what I'm already going to tell you. So Alex always talks about like, he doesn't care what the industry standard is. Like, if you're trying to go with the industry standard, then you're just looking to be an average business, so he doesn't care. And I asked one of his team a question, and then I was kind of saying, oh, but in our industry, and he's like, you know exactly what I'm going to say to you. And, I was like, I do, but sometimes I need to hear it. He was like, 100%, sometimes you just need punched in the face, kind of thing. So he just gave me it straight. So I like straight talking guys that are in there, just no fluff. They want to just know real numbers, and aye. Right, so that is day one complete. Got my goodies, acquisition.com coffee mug that is absolutely getting used when we get home. Pair of acquisition.com socks as well. Takeaways from today. I honestly feel a bit like, I don't know if down is the right word, but I feel like out of my depth, like I said in the video earlier. Like, these guys are just absolute black belts in business, do you know what I mean? And they intentionally operate like that, and they intentionally kind of like push you like that, because they've got where they've got to, and there's just like no BS with them, do you know what I mean? They just get right to the point, which is great, and that's the whole reason that I've came, is to be in rooms like that, to be tested and pushed, because I feel like at home, there's a lot of like glass ceilings there, do you know what I mean? And it's hard to get into rooms like that. Like, we're in America, do you know what I mean? We're in Vegas. It's the place to be for people going and fulfilling their dreams, do you know what I mean? But it showed me how much I've still got to learn, which is really good for me. But it doesn't feel like that. I suppose I'm practicing what I preach to the team, for example, is like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I need to probably take some of my own advice on there, and kind of enjoy that. One of the biggest things that I learned from today, if I was to take one of the takeaways, is that business is always tough. I heard them, you know, share that in a few different times in different ways today, is to kind of like get this idea out of your head that at some stage you'll get the business or running a business or owning a business to a place where it kind of gets easier, but there's just a new set of problems that you then unlock when you go up the levels is one of the things that I took away the day. And I suppose that's quite freeing in a way, because it means that you can just kind of no panic when it's like, or sometimes I'll feel like, why is this so hard? Like, why is this so hard? Like, look at that guy here there, like, they seem to be doing so great, and they seem to be killing it, and he seems to be really enjoying that, but actually you're only really seeing the highlights reel, do you know what I mean? So that was really good. So that is the Hard Rock Hotel that they're building over there in the shape of a guitar. That's got to be cool as anything. So I've just spent some time actually watching Alex, one of Alex's video when he was talking about lifetime value of a client. Speak about Starbucks, for example, like the lifetime value of a client is like thousands of pounds, because they all, even though they're only spending £5 on a coffee, they're coming back time after time after time, and then they look at like the lifetime value of that. So we're trying to do that for our business, which is difficult because we're selling somebody's property and we're usually only doing that once, or we'll maybe get them kind of like twice in their lifetime. So what we're really looking for is referrals and recommendations off the back of that for doing a great job, which is what we do really well. But that changes when we go into financial services as well. So I'm basing it on last year's figures, but that's going to change a lot this year as we can help people with their mortgage and everything like that. And that's without looking into the property management side of things. So because that helps with marketing, planning, and the fees that we set and everything like that as well. And ultimately, this is like business owner stuff, which is all great. But one of the things that they kept talking about time and time again yesterday was creating a great business. Like, all these numbers are great and everything like that, but ultimately, it doesn't work unless you build a great business. What they were saying was, you can be the best marketer in the world, but if you've got a bit of a crap business that doesn't really look after people, then you're just marketing to more people to show them how rubbish you are. So I really like that. So that's day 2 completed at acquisition.com. Just initial thoughts here, really, just right off the back of leaving the building, is that was a life-changing experience. It really, really was. Absolutely life-changing. I feel like the second day was actually, I enjoyed it a lot more than the first day. Not to say that there was anything wrong with the first day, but I think they really packed so much value in that second day. I had pages and pages and pages of notes. Well, I'm going to touch on one thing there actually. So when I was leaving, there was a guy, Dion. The guy, he spoke a lot about personal brand and everything. He was one of the speakers and took one of the round tables as well. But he actually just came up to me there and said, Chris, there was 100 business owners there. They do these workshops all the time. The business is like an astronomical size, do you know what I mean? So they've got a lot going on. And he came up to me there and just said, Chris, I just wanted to say to you that I've watched a lot of your videos, and I seen the podcast you done. So that would have been the podcast that I done with Jamie Taylor at Taylor Roofs. And he just said that your story really touched me when you were speaking about your dad, and you had said it's just in me owning a business, or it might have been the one that I done with Alan Smith actually, but on one of the podcasts anyway, he watched it, and I spoke about where that drive comes from, and it's just in me. It came a lot from my dad, and I don't know if it was because it was taught from my dad, or whether it's just because I'm his boy. And obviously, speaking about losing my dad so young, and he actually was visibly quite emotional there when he was speaking to me about that, about having watched that, and I really felt like a lump in my throat when I was talking to him, because I'm just like, how have you taken the time to actually watch that? Such a majorly successful guy at the other side of the world, in a workshop with 100 people in it, taking the time to watch it and remember it and speak to me about it. I'm just honest. That just really took me back there. I was like, wow. So I had a great conversation with him. I spoke to him about personal brand as well. So that's something. So Dion's massive on that. And I just said to him, like, when I started Bridges Properties, it was all about me, because it was only me and I was the guy that everybody knew on video. And I was just like, so I've had to like filter that out to now the team, because it's not me that's coming out to sell people's houses. I'm running the business, I'm owning the business and all that sort of stuff. So just said to him, like, clearly from what I've learned today, I should be doing more content. What should I do more content on? And he was basically like, well, share your story, Chris. Like, you've got a story to share. You know, you are the guy that's the founder. It's that people will you know, like, follow you and listen to you, and you're the face of the business. Do you know what I mean? He's like, it's amazing that your team have taken over that, but you know, still make sure that you're sharing your story, and people will listen, basically. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, so that was really great advice for him there as well. I'm just really taken back with that conversation. I couldn't believe it when I said that. I'm just like, I'm in Las Vegas for a guy that works for Alex Hormozi, and he's talking about listening to one of my podcasts. Like, what? Like, that's just crazy. Alex Hormozi walked in the room and absolutely just blew me away. The guy's presence is just incredible, absolutely incredible. I actually felt like a proper, like, wee fanboy, you know what I mean? When he walked in the room, I was like, oh, you are the man. Where I'm at in business, it's like, what's it like? It's like somebody that's studying drama at school sitting in front of Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy is at the top of the top of the top, like there's 0.001% or whatever that'll be. It's like somebody sitting listening to him. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was like for me listening to Alex Hormozi. The guy is unbelievable. Quick things that he done. He done a Q&A with people, which was phenomenal. He basically says, like, every business has stuff that's hard. The quote that he said was, every business has stuff that's hard. That's why we get paid. I'm like, how obvious is that? Do you know what I mean? Because if it wasn't hard, people wouldn't pay us to do the job that we're doing. I'm like, wow. When he said that as well, he pointed there to all his team and said, like, hiring these guys is hard. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, aye. Like, it just makes it look so easy. But think about the people that they'll be competing with, like all the massive corporations and businesses that they'll be competing with on a daily basis. Like, that's got to be hard. But you look at his content and you look at where he's at in life and think, oh, he's smashing it. It must be well easy. Do you know what I mean? And like, how I know it's no easy. Like, of course it's no. Even to this day, I'd seen this morning actually when we were in his building, and I'd seen this morning at 4 a.m. he was in the office. He had put on his story at 4 o'clock in the morning that they were in the office, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon he was sitting talking to us doing a Q&A. Like, I'm like, what? The guy is just like, that's not easy what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? So it just puts me at ease when I think, like, this is always going to be hard, so I just need to make peace with that. Do you know what I mean? Rather than thinking, why is this so hard all the time? So marketing, it was just like proof over persuasion. Brilliant. Just showing so much proof about how what you have to offer works for other people or has worked for other people is like one of the biggest things I took away from this. It's not just saying, we are the best, we do this, we'll get the best price for your house, blah, blah, blah. It's, here's Margaret, she had a problem, she had a problem which was, I need to sell my house really quickly. Here came Bridges Properties, we were the solution, but instead, and we sold the property in a quick time frame, if that's what we're doing in that particular video. But rather than us saying that you've got Margaret actually speaking about that and asking her questions and everything like that. Absolutely brilliant. You must raise your standards because nobody else is going to do it. They say that sometimes businesses grow faster than employees. So because we're trying on this growth journey, and I hate the word employees, by the way, I would rather use team, but for us in our team, we've got an amazing team with an amazing growth culture in our team. Like, they're so, like, they crave it, which is great. But it's just understanding that we always need to make sure that they're growing as fast as the business, which at this stage they absolutely are, and we're really blessed there. But I can imagine in other businesses, when businesses are growing quickly, and you've got people who aren't really up for that, that can be difficult, but we've not got that problem, which is great. With your business, everybody will associate your brand with something. We called it unconscious parallel assumptions. So when your brand appears anywhere, people will automatically, subconsciously or unconsciously associate your brand with something. So it might be with me, for example, in a good or a bad way, hopefully more good than bad, is, oh, that's Chris, oh, that's the guy for Blackburn and he's done that, or oh, that's Chris, he does a lot for mental health charities, or, do you know, that's Charlotte, I've seen her on social media and selling lovely houses and doing a great job with the videos, whatever that might be. I thought that was really, really important. So, and he says, what are you putting out there that isn't aligned? So when you send an email, or when you send a proposal over, or whether somebody phones up the business, or the Facebook ad, you know, it all needs to be exactly aligned with your brand. There was loads in what Alex was saying. You know, he spoke so well when he was answering people's questions when they came in. He just makes it sound so simple. I said this in another video, but he really, like, he takes away all the emotion and just uses logic, which sounds so simple. And it kind of is simple, but really not easy to do in business, because there's so much stress and fear and problems and fires to put out that you can get so emotional, and I can, like, so it's contradicting myself a wee bit there, because I was saying, you know, the business owner is that eccentric person that's driving the values and everything like that, which needs to be the case, which I am. But also that kind of carry into making decisions, and especially when you're dealing with people, because you can really, you know, upset people, you can really make rash decisions and everything like that. So it's like he's got this really nice balance between the both of them, which I think he's an absolute expert at, which I took a lot for. It was absolutely brilliant. I've just been kind of reflecting on the last couple of days, and just, I don't know, I've just been, like, I've just kind of got in this, like, wee reflective kind of zone in my head, if that makes sense. It's like, I've kind of, this happens to me a lot, actually. See, especially when I'm, like, on holiday and that, I get all, like, sentimental. It's weird. But I mean, well, I say it's weird, it's just, like, I think because this was such a big thing for me coming to Vegas, like, it's the first time I've ever done something like this and invested in something like this, and I think that well, first of all, it's been incredible, like an absolutely amazing experience from start to finish. But genuinely, I think, like, I hit 30 last year as well, do you know what I mean? I started this business when I was 25, and I wasn't a 25-year-old with a good head on my shoulders at that point, do you know what I mean? Loads of ambition and everything like that, but even at that stage, I had so much growing up to do, and do you know what I mean? In that time, I've became a dad and a fiance, and do you know what I mean? Like, I've been through that daft boy stage, and, do you know, I've really applied myself to this business through all that growth. I've had to grow up as well as the business. Coming here, I think my mind got a wee bit carried away, thinking, like, I don't know, and then it was just something a wee bit off. I think it was yesterday, I was just something a wee bit off when I was like, what is it that's going on for me? And then I just kind of, like, realised the day, I just need to double down on, like, who I am and be, like, unapologetically me. And then I think people, like, if I'm going to grow a personal brand, I think people will relate to that. And who do I want to relate to? I want to relate to younger people, like a young Chris who maybe wants to get into business, but rather than, like, painting this perfect picture and all that, is, like, showing the ins and outs of that and the challenges and, like, how amazing it can be, but also how tough it can be, and, like, just, like, the unfiltered version of all of that. 6 years ago, I was in a rehab. My life had got to, like, rock bottom. I'd been sacked for the job that I was doing in the December, Christmas Eve to be precise, for being an idiot. Like, for the God knows how many times it was that I got away with what I was doing, and do you know what I mean? Just, like, my life had just went to my life had just went to shit basically. Really struggling with drinking too much, and that got me into a lot of bother, amongst other things. And that's where my life was at 6 years ago, right? So if that's where my life was at, this is a dream. Like, this is an absolute dream. I know we maybe thinking, calm down, Chris, you went to Vegas, mate, do you know what I mean? But genuinely, like, being in that room today is just, like, it's just mind-blowing. And do you know what I loved about it is, like, I've spoke about, like, the levels and the people that were in the room and everything like that, but a room like that would have ate me up a few years ago. It really would have, like, all that self-doubt and, like, no really, like, that assurance in myself. And I feel like I've found that, and it's no perfect, do you know what I mean? Like, in the last 6 years, I spoke about being in rehab there, but the last 6 years, obviously, I've grown massively, but I've also made so many mistakes, and it's been, like, up and down, do you know what I mean? It's not been plain sailing, but there's been loads of growth in that time, and I feel like I am more assured in who I am as a person now. I've found myself, if you want to say that. Right, so it's time to check out of the hotel. It's 12 o'clock. So time to check out of the room. It's always annoying that, isn't it, when you go away and you need to kind of like check out the room and you're not got a flight until the night time. But I'll just go and get checked out, grab something to eat, and just chill a bit really before it's time to head for the airport later. So that's it. The Vegas trip is officially over. Just about to leave for the airport in the next half an hour to an hour. I'm just kind of sitting, really nice, but actually for them that's been to the Win, next to the fountain. So I just sitting, chilling here. You see this, I'm an absolute salesman's dream. I was walking through the shopping centre earlier, and this American guy just came out of nowhere and just started like no polishing, but like cleaning my trainers. And you know what way, like, it was a pure whirlwind, and before I knew it, I was just like had my foot up on this thing and he was just cleaning them, and he actually done a really good job. So that was me stung for a cleaning kit. I don't even need a cleaning kit for my trainers, you know what I mean? I've got stuff like that in the house, but I just couldn't help it. The guy was such a good salesman, do you know what I mean? And before I knew it, he was like, had the card machine out and I was buying it off him, and honest to God, I'm the easiest guy in the world to get things like that. Aye, that's it. Anyway, don't know what else to say apart from thank you very much for watching, and if anybody gets the opportunity that's in business and is serious about growing their business and wants to learn for the best, then I would highly recommend coming out to Vegas and going to the acquisition.com workshop. I think that they'll run through the criteria and everything like that, but I think your business needs to be turning over more than $1 million a year. But what they do is when you fill out the form, they'll explain all of that. The process is phenomenal, even when you go through the kind of like getting in touch with them process. But if you're under $1 million, there's still stuff that they can send you so that you can kind of like work on stuff up until you're at that size, and then you can come out here. But genuinely would highly recommend it. One, for the experience of just getting out the business and going to a different country and everything like that can do a lot for you, to give you a bit of a breather. Two, for the value that you get for acquisition.com from Alex, for his team and everything like that. And three, it's in Vegas. Who doesn't like coming to Vegas, do you know what I mean? So, aye. Again, highly recommend it to anybody, and thanks again for watching.